Let's make a beat for Cochise. Yo, welcome back, guys. I hope you all are doing well. I know I took a little bit of a break with all the holidays and stuff. I was traveling a lot, but we're back, and I'm going to be uploading at least once a week, if not twice. So yeah, stay tuned for more content. Also, let me know what you guys want to see from me as far as like what producers to cover or what like artists you want to see, like type beats and stuff. So yeah, today we're doing a Cochise type beat. And I'm going for sort of like that bouncy kind of like wavy vibe that he does. Yeah, let's get into it. So starting off this one, we're at 152 BPM. Definitely want to keep the BPM pretty high for these to keep like the fast-paced energy going. So what I had first is I started with this MIDI from Dreamz. He's like the go-to Cochise guy. He's got a bunch of songs with him already. Go check him out if you have not already. I'll leave his links in the description, and I'll put his ad up on the screen. So I got that MIDI from him, and then I put it onto this plugin called Ace, and I used this key. It's called Staged Mellow Stage, and that sounds like this. So I would say the base to these sort of midis for Cochise beats is to have some really nice chords, and then just like a little top line that's super catchy and repeats itself. So then the next thing I added was this sequencer sound. It's also from Ace. You might recognize it. It's from the song Mileage by Playboi Carti. Pierre used it in that beat, and that's what this sounds like. So yeah, nice little accent, just adds a lot of energy to the beat. So yeah, then the third thing I added was just another layer of the chords, and I used Ace again with the preset HST Orchestra. It's definitely important to layer the chords with these beats just to give the melody like a nice full sound. So the next thing I did was I took the same MIDI again, the same chords again, and I layered it with this ARP Steady Aim preset from Analog Lab, and that sounds like this. So that acts as just like another sort of background filler to keep the melody kind of interesting, and just add another layer. And then what I think is the most important for these beats is some kind of like catchy either lead or, you know, some sample or something. And in this case, I found this vocal like lead sample from Splice, and I just chopped it up, and that's what this sounds like. So in this case, this kind of acts as like a driving sort of top line lead for the melody. And then for the second half, I just added this pad sample that I found from Splice that I just chopped up and repeated. And that sounds like this. So that's kind of like a pad and an ARP just like mixed into one, and then like put a bunch of reverb on it. And then the last thing I added as far as MIDI was just a bass for when it transitions back into the hook. And for that I used Ace again. It's just called HS Bass, and it sounds like this. So for that, I just followed the root notes, and it went down. So for that, I just followed the root notes, and I pitched these 3 down an octave, and then for the last part, I switched them so the higher octave starts first and then drops low. So yeah, that's it for the melody. The main thing was to just have, like I said, some nice chords, have some sort of like catchy top line, and just layer it a lot so it's a nice full sound. So yeah, that's it for the melody. Now I'm going to show you how I did the drums. So first off, I just started with a simple clap. I'm gonna go through these drums a little bit faster just because there's a lot of them. So I just had the simple clap. I used a clap with a little bit more high end. I don't know really why, I just thought it sounded better. Then I added the hi-hat. For that MIDI, I thought it was pretty important to have these spaces in the rolls, just to kind of like give a little bit of pause and build a little tension, and kind of help with the bounce. And then I added a snare and an extra clap. And then I added 2 open hats. And then the last things I added before the 808s were this just like effects to hit on the 1, and then a triangle perk. So altogether the percussion sounds like this. So moving on to the 808s, I used 2 different samples for this. The first one I used the classic Cochise 808 that's just like the super thumpy one. And so I laid down this pattern that just follows the root notes. And I used that like four note hit that you hear in a lot of his beats. And then I added a second 808 just to hit in the empty spaces. And so all together, both of those sound like this. And yeah, all together the drums are gonna sound like this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this beat. Nothing really crazy as far as arrangement. Just like I said before with the loop, it's nice to kind of have these little breaks. So I took some of the drums out and a little bit of the sections, gave some nice breaks so that the listener isn't like overwhelmed with constant drums all the time. I think that's a pretty important thing that I do in a lot of my beats, is to give space. You know, you don't want the drums just blasting through the entire beat. So as always, I hope you guys learned something from this you can use in your own beats. Like I said at the beginning, let me know what like artists or producers you'd want me to cover in future videos. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that. Follow my IG, I'll leave that in the description. Also follow Dreamz, shout out him for the MIDI. And yeah, I'm gonna play the beat and I'll see you guys later. Peace.